It's the Kink Consultant Podcast, where we're turning up the heat on all things kink and dating, relationships, and pop culture. So close the door, plug in your headphones, and let's get down to it.
This week's episode of the Kink Consultant Podcast, we have our most frequent guest back today. Welcome, Larah Sky.
Hi.
I always love having you on. And Tish, my editor, every time I tell her it's going to be an episode with you, she gets so excited, which I think is hilarious because our episodes run so long that I always think she'll want to kill me, but she loves them. Everybody loves them. That's why you're back.
It's like a streaming episode. Maybe we should just do it live. I think we said that one time. Maybe we should just do it.
Actually, I'd be okay with doing that. There's nothing I'm scared of talking about. That's why I said as soon as you joined, I was like, we're just going to start recording. There's no preamble needed. We'll just get into it. Okay, my first question is, do I hear more than one dog right now?
Yes, I got a puppy last year.
So in addition to Rosie, you got a second dog.
Willow, who's also a big poodle.
Poodles are the best, so it makes sense. Who watches them when you go away?
Normally my mom, but it just depends.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, there's a few people. Sometimes we have a dog sitter, sometimes family member.
Yeah, I love dogs too. In fact, my dog passed away last year and I want to get another dog, but really I just want to eternally dog sit other people's dogs. Zero responsibility, all the fun.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see why that'd be fun, because then you can give them back, or you could be like, not this week.
Yeah, exactly. And you have a lot of travel coming up, and I want to talk, we're not going to over talk about it because it's too late for people to book now, but we're going on a cruise together in 10 days, 11 days. But you have another trip before that?
So I'm going on a photo shoot. I don't want to say I'm cursed, but I have tried to pick on this shoot 4 or 5 times, and this is the closest I've got. So the first one is the collective travel who do really cool shots, group of models, group of photographers go to a nice location, and we do different kind of shoots. So it's mostly beach stuff they do, but I'm taking lead decks.
They're going on a whole ass trip for this.
But the problem is, basically, the 2 timings couldn't have been worse. So I have about 6 hours to come back, switch my suitcase, get rid of the latex, pack my stuff for the cruise, and go back on a flight.
Okay, you and I have totally different approaches to life and work. I fell over yesterday because you're going on this flight tomorrow. Yesterday we were texting, you were like, I'm all packed. Anyone who knows me knows I'm packing 2 hours before a flight. But I'm calm because I'm at home and everything's fine. You're planning to get off of one plane, go home.
Not home to nap in my car, technically. There's not really enough time for me to come home from the airport, if there's any roadworks, traffic. I've been packing for about 10 days now. Tidy in order to pack because my house is under construction. So obviously I had to move things to find things.
I have enough anxiety about making sure I get back to the States in time for my trip, right? On the cruise. You just it'll all work out.
Well, if I get stressed, I'm going to book a flight a day earlier. So if I get stressed, if I get to the day before I'm meant to fly and I'm I need to fly today.
Simple.
But the problem was that there's shoots on the last day. If I lived in London, I could have just gone there.
Yeah.
It would have been easier.
Do you miss living in London? Do you wish you lived in London?
If I had unlimited money, I would live in London.
Well, all right. This brings me to my next point. I have a list of questions that over the last few months I've been I need to ask Larah this. I think we've talked about dating before. Okay, here's my take. Larah has no patience for bullshit, so she's not going to be dating anytime soon. Would you say that's a correct assessment?
Too much, but I actually thought about reaching out to Chirp because they reached out to me years ago and I was like, no, low ballers. I kind of like their marketing now, and I thought, how funny would it be if I had them sponsor a week that I just went on speed dating and we filmed it for an OFTV show. I was like, how funny would that be? Or a YouTube series.
I think people would watch.
Any gender, not under 30. I think maybe you need an 18-year-old in there, actually. Not for me to seriously date, but just for the TV aspect.
I don't know if we're recording every time I ask you this, but every time we chat, I'm like, what's your plan here? So what are you looking for? Would you say you would switch with someone?
I would definitely switch, but more with women. I find women more dominant and more naturally dominant rather than putting on. Because I don't like people who fake it or people who are just abusive. A lot of guys in fetish clubs and stuff, when they're newbies, they'll come up and they'll just hit you. And you're like, well, now you're getting banned. But also feel like, well, I'm a dominant man, or they just try and stroke you and you're like, what are you doing? Abuse isn't dominance.
No, I've seen some insane stuff, but none of it non-consensual. I've seen consensual stuff go wrong. We're at swingers party. Have I seen things like, are you kidding me right now?
Interested about the cruise for this because I'm like, are we going to see stuff? I just mean like, why are you doing that? No, that's not how you hit somebody.
No, I think we won't see that, but maybe we'll see a lot of things. There's so many intro classes I'm teaching. Why did I agree to it? Because this is what I do for work. I think I'm learning. A lot of people on social media don't realize I am a coach. What I do is I teach people to introduce dominance and submission, kink into their relationship. Usually one person's kinky and the other is not. This is a ship full of people who are basically my ideal client. So what I'm doing is, like, I'm all over the app. There's free classes to get people to meet me, and then I'll hand out my cards and stuff and it's like a marketing thing. My partner is going to be there with me. He's like an amazing salesman. He's going to help me out. He's going to be sort of acting as my assistant in all the classes too. I want to work with more clients. I don't have a huge number of swinger clients, but I actually did when I was in Vegas. I had a lot of in-person swinger clients. So I'm like, I know swingers like coming to me to help me introduce them to kink, help teach them how to dom and sub. So that's the purpose of it. But when I looked at the schedule and I'm like, I'm teaching how to tell your partner a kink, fantasy. These are both hour-long classes at different points. What's another? Fantasy mapping, basically exploring what you want and how to explain that. Then tapping into your dom energy and tapping into your sub energy. So those are 4. Then I'm also hosting the kink party. Are you going to be at the hotel the night before? Will you have time?
Yeah, so I literally land. There is no room for error. When I say there's no room for error, because if I miss my first flight, I need to basically get from the airport to the cruise before it leaves.
Yes.
My flight would land at about 2 and it leaves at 3.
And then also I'm teaching a spanking demo at the Jamaica Play Fest. So I'll spank you on the cruise. And
with consent, will be withdrawn when I've had enough.
I'm a really good dom. I'll check in. I'm very gentle, sometimes too gentle. So I'm teaching it. And my partner's going to be there too at the Jamaica Play Fest. So it's a dungeon on a beach with dungeon furniture.
Things blind. Like, I kind of know what it is. I know that I'm going, but I just like turning up and then be like, oh my God.
Okay, so because you're on the kinky cruise, so I'm not even going to get into this with you right now, but I have to.
I want to know. I just want to
Did you download the Celebrity Cruise app?
I did.
Okay.
The Kinky app, or the Bliss app.
Did you check in for the cruise?
No.
Go check in and so you can get a boarding.
We needed a passport and a selfie. We needed to arrange that.
Who's we?
The partner.
Oh yeah,
I adopted submissive.
Is he your adopted submissive? Like he's not.
He's not mine.
I thought he was a dom.
I'm adopted him for a week.
I knew that. I just thought he was a dom, not a sub. I nearly went to Berlin this week too because I was looking for a little escape from this weather.
You should come to the one in May.
I can't do that quick a turnaround now, but
come on. If I can do an overnight turnaround.
No, it's not that. This Ireland trip is out of nowhere. I wasn't supposed to come to Ireland, so I had these 2 weeks in Ireland out of nowhere. Believe me, in the future, you'd be able to convince me.
I mean, this is also one of the ones that I was meant to go to 3 times. The first one, I was busy. The second one, I had a flu. And the third one, I had broken my leg.
The broken leg saga is the funniest story ever because you were still walking around doing things on your broken leg.
I partially dislocated my leg from my pelvis. And I tore the muscles and the cartilage. So it couldn't heal without surgery. So I had the surgery last June. But it just takes a while to heal. But the whole time was months of them not knowing what was happening, but they were like, you should be on bed rest, but you also need to keep moving.
I also remember this very specifically. We talked about dating. You're like, well, I can't do anything till my leg's fixed. Actually, that was your answer to everything. And it was valid. It was totally valid.
I literally couldn't walk.
Okay. Do you describe yourself as bisexual? Queer?
Like poly?
Pan-poly. That makes sense. So you're not really just looking for one relationship. One of the relationships you are looking for.
Main relationship to be straight, but then I would also love for it to be like a lavender marriage type situation where it looks super straight, but it's not. Okay. I like that. Ned come out with his boyfriends and be about going down the beach, go to the dogging area.
Okay. It sounds like you're in Big Brother, probably because of your accent, but it's like, go to this room. We're getting closer here. I feel like some of my curiosity is being satiated. I do like this idea of the lavender marriage. Would not work for me, but I see you want it. I can't hide anything. Who you see is who you get because I'm terrible at any sort of secrecy or mystery. Okay, So your main relationship, the front-facing one, would be straight.
Yeah, but I couldn't date a straight man. This is my issue.
You don't need to date a straight man.
Yeah, but my fetish is like I would love to have a straight boyfriend who was just really like pathetic, just normal and pathetic, and a little bit like of a wimp. Not even submissive, just like a little bit pathetic but good at his job.
Like he goes fishing and then comes back to do whatever you need.
And then he goes to work like 9 to 5, but he's out the house from 8 till 6. Like literally like the most straight man, but I think actually I just don't want him in the house.
Who's cooking dinner?
Probably me, or he would pay for a chef.
This is complex.
No, but I want like a straight man. Like I have this really, really weird kink for like dating a straight man who's like so vanilla. Like I just think, imagine the most vanilla person ever. Who's just
Do you corrupt him?
no, like he just doesn't care. That's my fantasy. Like they ask questions and they're like, oh, and then they just go back to like watching cars. And then
Wait, I'm pulling this thread. Okay. It sounds like you want a passive man who is not going to interfere with your flow.
trad wife fetish, like having like a trad husband who does trad husband things.
Okay, so your trad wife in this fantasy world, which there's nothing wrong with. He's your trad husband. And then are you also doing the work you do now and he's just not bothered by it? Also barely curious or like, oh, what is it? Interesting. Back to the television.
Yeah. Like I think there's something really would amuse me about somebody being like, what are you doing now? And they're just like, oh.
Do you think that you feel fetishized in your normal day-to-day life and the fantasy then is to not be fetishized and just allowed to live your life?
Because I'm so not straight, that is the fetish. Like to me, it's so opposite. Because most people are like, oh my God, I want to do this. It's opposite.
Well, Chirp, I hope you're talking about
your relationship as like the wild card. Like, you know.
Yeah, that is a wild card. And I hope Chirp is listening and being like, we have what you're looking for, Larah. But you don't want them to be submissive. They're trad.
I want them to be a bit wimpy and a bit like an ideal cup.
Okay, so we have answers on like relationship one. I don't know if this is relationship one or just fantasy relationship one.
No, this is my fantasy. Like, I could not date a straight man.
Okay, so what are you really looking to date? I'm not obsessed over this, but I've had this question a lot. So not a straight man.
I think ideally, I would like to date somebody who wasn't straight. So if it's a bisexual man, somebody who's like, whatever, you know, obviously if it's a woman they were dating, they would have to be a bit like gay. But the criteria being that they're not a straight man.
Okay, so
Otherwise, they have to be a bit gay, right?
pan poly. You're pan poly, so can we just put it out? You're looking for a man who would describe himself as pan poly as well. Why not?
Because I don't think I actually want to date a man. I think it's in my head.
Okay,
Like,
not at all. Okay,
I don't know. I have this idea that I'm going to date like a rich man and we're going to appear like good and like normal and he's going to be like a secret sissy. He's an object.
I think you'll be able to find that as relationship number one.
Yeah, that's relationship number one. And then like relationship number two. So me and my friend, we used to always say that we should co-date so that we could like date a guy, but when he was annoying us, we could just take turns, like babysitting.
Passing
And like also like do stuff together.
like a throuple.
No, me and her like go shopping.
Oh, and he would not be invited.
You invited. But you know, like
Yeah.
no jealousy. Yeah, like a throuple, but
Would you and she be in a partnership as well?
I don't think so. I don't think that was part of it. I think it was we were both going to date him and be friends.
So like a polycule situation.
Yeah. But we go out and find the guy to join us.
I think you want a polycule, a complex polycule with, I don't know, like a overlay of lavender marriage or,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, what I would quite like is a puppy. Or like a dom daddy, like a leather man.
These are two different things. The list keeps getting longer.
Yeah. Into personalities rather than like looks or anything. So
Okay, but say you want to plan a vacation with them. I guess it would be vacation dependent who you went with.
I normally travel alone, so it's actually really unique that I'm not traveling alone. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Do you want a primary partner that you would travel with, or you really want the polycule?
So I would like somebody, I don't care who they are, but who lived with me and did things.
Lavender marriage person?
Yes. Lavender marriage or sissy boy who pays for everything.
Okay.
If it's a lavender marriage, like I'll go 50-50. If it's a sissy bitch, they're paying.
It sounds like it's all pretty clear in your head. It's actually getting it on paper that's difficult.
Yeah, I think because I don't go for looks, so then it's really difficult.
I go for looks. Wow.
Yeah. I also have this thing for like older men because I just think younger men aren't mature enough and they don't understand. They've not been told off enough. Basically, like your first wife is a psycho, and rightfully so because you're a dick. Like you deserve to be punished. You deserve to be shouted at. You deserve to go through hell. And then you get to me and I'm a psycho. You know what to expect. And you know like that you've got to arrange things. You know to be on time. If you don't, you're going to get shouted at. So you don't.
Okay, but also there are men out there who are just mature.
Yeah, also that. But I think like the whole have you been through a divorce? Have you learned your lesson? Is have you learned the lesson is the main thing here.
Yeah, that. Okay. I don't know. With divorced men, though, my friend always asks this question. It's ask her why they got divorced. And I think that's a really good question because people tend to leave relationships with rose-tinted glasses of their behavior in that relationship.
I think like the communication and the boundaries and stuff. I like it when they're like, oh yeah, we still have a really good relationship. We still chat for kids and we do this and that, or we go on holiday together, but we're just not right for each other, or like I work too much. I like when they've got some sort of backstory or no ex-wife, just, yeah, I've learned.
Do you want a workaholic so they're not around you all the time?
Yes, but also to be mildly abusive to me and shout at me when I'm being late.
Can we not use the word abusive? Dominant.
No, I would like to have, you know what, I don't want this, but I just think it'd be really good work ethic and actually make me like really, really productive if I had a man who was just being like, you're fucking lazy, get out of fucking bed, go and get your clothes on. I'm going to get the camera and you're going to sit there and you're going to talk to it. And then I'm going to edit it.
If someone talked to me like that, I'd be like, how dare you talk to me like that? Until they were like, I'm going to edit it. Then I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's go.
But I just think like some kind of like slightly controlling gets in your head, manipulative.
This is the biggest fantasy, to have this in a healthy way that is productive. This is bigger than your trad wife fantasy. I need you to know that.
I just get annoyed when people have controlling boyfriends who aren't motivating them and aren't useful. You've got to be controlling in a good way.
You are like some sort of industrialist because you are like, look, he could be as abusive as he wants, but he better be motivating you to be a better version of yourself through that abuse and nothing less. Okay.
I would love a guy who just wanted money as much as I want money and would put the hours in to force me to make more money. I think he could also be rich, but like I would just like somebody who was like power.
But would you not feel used? I would be like, you go make the money. Let me be in bed.
Food stuff, then it's fine. Well, if I had my house and he stayed here for free,
Yeah.
like motivated me, and I got to keep our money, you wouldn't be getting all. You have a salary.
Larah Sky needs a dom. That's what I'm hearing. That's the headline there.
I just can't cope with having a dom.
So, okay.
Not a female dom, fine.
Okay, could this female dom be the one motivating you to get content done and she's editing?
Pretty girls should do stuff like that. Like, I don't think they should work hard.
You work hard.
I do, but I don't think I should make my hot, abusive girlfriend work. Yeah.
Larah Sky, always a conundrum. Would that be the right word for this?
Asking me who I want to date, and I'm like, I don't know. I think I've spoken about it before as well. Like, the more that I work, the less I want to date somebody because it's just constant. And I think that's where the whole thing about having a very vanilla relationship where they go out all day, they come home for a few hours, and they're just like, no interest other than like, oh.
As if you're treating it like a job and that's a job. Well, this is why you're poly. You could get the kinks somewhere else. I guess I'm living the biggest fantasy life because I found my dom. I'm very happy. He motivates, yes, but he's not like cursing at me. The abusive thing would never work for me. I need you to be really nice. In fact, I am too sensitive for him. Like sometimes he says stuff and I'm like, that really upset me when you said it. Not even dominant stuff. He'll just make a joke and I'm like, I didn't find that funny. And I think this man has to walk on eggshells for my emotion. So like the abusive thing would never work. He's literally said, I've never dated anyone as sensitive as you. And I don't care. That's the teaching part though.
It's communication and it's understanding. And not like come and go and like maybe sitting with it and being like, actually, I do feel upset and it's the next day or that didn't hit right. And, you know, like.
Yeah, he's a good listener. He does not get defensive, but equally, I am very on my own feelings. And I'm like, that didn't feel right. Like, let's explore why this didn't feel right. And he'll go through that whole process. But equally, I'll do that for him. Because
people don't do that though. That's
yeah, they don't. I hate to say this. That's like 75% of my job. Is teaching people how to do that, how to both talk and listen. Like teaching people from the base level of this is how you check in with yourself. This is how you practice checking in with yourself. And now go do it in your relationship.
Like I was listening to this podcast. It just came up on Spotify. And I was like, This is probably why people like it when I go to the basics, because they were going to the absolute basics of like how they set boundaries in their relationships from like the absolute bottom. And then I was like, wait, because they were going, we never used to have boundaries and talk to each other. And I was like, oh my God, like what? Because people need the basics. They need the absolute basics so they can be like,
Yeah.
I can do that.
I just recently, like very recently, realized for myself, all my years of being a dominatrix and having clients just come in off the street and me asking, what do you want? And asking specific questions to do my job well. I took that for granted. I was like, oh, wait, that's a skill not everyone has. I didn't have it in the beginning. I just learned it so long ago that I realized I wasn't teaching anybody that skill. And now I've gone back and taught people. I'm doing like as teaching people to dom.
We had like a chat on another podcast I was on. I've been cheating on you. But no, they were asking about my favorite kind of session. And I was saying, like, when I was doing sessions with people, I enjoyed it, but I was always asking what they wanted because it was their fantasy.
Yes.
And it wasn't until like recently that I got to start doing more like denial and chastity and really understanding what I want. Because sometimes you ask the other person too much.
Yeah, that's essentially it. So essentially, I talk to a lot of switches or subs who want their partner to be dominant, and the dominant comes to me and they're like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like teaching them, well, ask them what they want, and then what do you want? And then what floors them is what they want themselves. To your point of like, you realized, oh, I'm really into denial and chastity. But that part of asking what your partner wants, having that conversation is foreign to people, and I just didn't realize.
Also, the whole thing of like, you should accept that your partner might want to go elsewhere. Like, if you're not dominant and they really want that, yeah, they want something specific that you're like, not a chance. Like, I'm not doing that.
That's a really good point. I understand people wanting monogamous relationships. I'm in one, and I was on a long journey to find the exact type of relationship I wanted to not do that. But equally, we've had conversations where I'm like, if you need this, I'm not the person, so you'd have to go elsewhere. And we're both okay with that.
I think it's a difference between them being like emotionally connected though, which is like, go pay for the service or go to like a party and just have it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a difference. I mean, I'm also not that bothered if they do have emotional connections, but I think there's a difference between being like, I'm doing a specific thing, whatever.
This specific thing versus I'm trying to create a whole new relationship, monogamous. I'm trying to recreate what we have with this person to not be with you. But most people are never looking for that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying in my experience, do you know something crazy? I realized a lot of my clients, I won't give a number because I don't want to cause arguments. A lot of my clients who come to me and they want their partner to play a certain role have paid someone either before meeting their current partner or while within the relationship with the current partner, and they don't want to keep doing that. So they want their partner to be the person. So that's another complication.
I think that is common because obviously I get a lot of married people. And I even get some people who are like, is it okay if we do like maybe a double call with me and my girlfriend? Or like, you know, I've been showing her your videos. There are some people who are like, I've phoned you and then a few weeks later, oh, I've had a conversation. Like we've kind of progressed a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are just married and it's all hush hush. And I'm like, can you not tell your partner? Oh, they break up with me. And I'm like, oh my God, why are you with them?
We've talked about this. In my experience, the partner almost never breaks up with him. In fact, I actually don't have a single story where someone tells their partner their kink and the partner breaks up with them. More often than not, what happens is the partner says, okay, thanks for sharing. Let's never talk about this again. So it's its own type of rejection that is very sad, but no one actually gets broken up with.
I think as well, like if you tell your partner they don't want to do it, but then you could have the conversation of like, well, I would like to do it on my own. Or I would like on somebody or video chat or watch these videos or I want to go out in person or whatever it is, you can have the conversation. But if you don't start, and I always say this, it makes me worry about what else they're doing in their relationships.
You have
like, what else are you hiding? What are you hiding? Like if you're so scared of telling them, you're not talking about other things. And is it just like they're angry and they're resenting you because you've not done the dishes, but they don't tell you and they just give you death stares? Like, did you forget to move the car and they were late for work? I think it causes arguments by not talking about things that are important to you.
Like resentment builds up and then it causes an argument as opposed to just having a conversation, which like circles back to our conversation about communication.
Favorite band you want to play? Do you have a film that you think stupid and you want to watch it? Like, I don't know. This is why I don't have relationships. Or like I do, but then they'll be like, oh my God, I really admire your boundaries. And, you know, I'm not just talking about romantic, but I'll be like, no, like that was really rude. I don't appreciate that or whatever. And then as soon as I put the boundary up with them, I'm like, oh my God. Some people are fine with it, but some of them, the instant you do that, they're like, I always admired that, but now I don't like it. Whatever.
Eye roll. Major eye roll to that one.
Admired it
fetishized it. Now I like it.
Yeah, or people get really obsessed with a job sometimes. And they act like I don't do that much. And not so that I could do everything, right? It's not like that, because I'm lazy. It's just I kind of like fall into this denial, like, CFNM, like close female, nude male, they're getting humiliated, I'm just casual, and they're kind of, it all builds into each other.
Do they think that's going to be their life if they date you?
Sometimes. To be fair, a lot of the people are just like, oh, they ask questions, but they're not weird about it. Or I would love before that point, actually, if they were being weird about it. I mean, more like friends sometimes. They just keep asking you questions, or you meet somebody and they're like, and what about this, and what about this, and what about this? And I'm like, or they're like, oh, and what do you do? And I'm like, well, I sit here in red cardigan and I talk about chastity. That's what I do.
That is kind of what we're both in cardigans today. I wore a cardigan for you.
Honestly, I think it's one of these things, isn't it? It's like, if you've got this idea, or people go, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? And I'm like, I don't know.
I get that question a lot, and it's like depends who I'm talking to. And then sometimes I sit back and I say the craziest shit, but I never would have thought of it that way, except I'm like, oh, there was that one time at this one party. I won't get into details.
I don't know what's crazy to them. I made a guy like drink a bottle of mayonnaise one time.
That is absolutely disgusting.
Have I told you about him before?
No.
So basically, he had run away. He was a sissy, and we're doing like a lot of training, and it'd been like a few months. And he was doing like really well. He's feeling more confident, and then he disappears. And he comes back and he's like, "Oh, I got really busy with work." So I made him like eat the mayonnaise, but he didn't record it. So I made him do it again, and then delete his account, and he never came back. I have said it as a joke the second time, like if he'd actually noped out, but he did it, and then he was like, oh, "I can't do it again." He's like, "I'm done."
And I'd be worried about his cholesterol from such an endeavor.
There's also a sub I make him eat cucumbers because he doesn't like them. That's kind of wild. Like, to be fair, that is wild. Imagine hating cucumbers so much that that's your number one punishment, and you hide them from your wife. He goes out and buys cucumbers and hides them from his wife because his wife would know that he wasn't like eating them on his own.
If I knew my partner hated cucumbers and I found them, I would assume he was sticking them somewhere. I have more questions now, not about the punishments. The person you were training, were they paying you for one-on-one sessions to be trained?
So normally what I do is I do like one-on-ones.
Yeah.
So there's options. I could do like a little consultation and I kind of give them a plan, and it's quite basic, and it's okay. So like, here's your goals. Here's what I want you to do for it. And then if we're doing one-to-one training, we can either do like sessions, which is just like messaging, or we can have it with the plan. Or you could do like phone calls or video calls, or if I'm live on cam. So people tend to do a mixture of everything. And then they're doing training. Yeah, like kind of, they can pay for a package, but they kind of pay as they go.
Yeah.
I prefer it that way because then they can get more or less.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Like, start with a consultation, work out your plan. Because some people get it and they're like, okay, great. Message you in 6 weeks. Like, can we change some things? Can we do it again? Really helped. Other people are like, this is shit. I don't want to do this.
This like moment that sticks out to you is one of the best compliments, pieces of feedback after going through all of this that you've received.
A hard one. To be honest, it's just people really like getting to their goal. I've had a lot of stuff who've lost weight and stuff, and they're like, oh, my friends and family are noticing. Or like they're noticing I'm more confident, or like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Rather than necessarily being like, because I obviously work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't remember different people, but a lot of people, it's the same if they commit and if they do like a few months.
If they commit to a few months and then it sort of all works out. Yeah, I get that. My favorite compliment is always, I was cheap. When they say like, you were cheaper than a divorce, implying that they really were heading for divorce. I always like that one. I don't know why. Okay.
As in a divorce, well, I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, I posted a tweet the other day and I was like, let me be the reason my girlfriend cups you.
Oh, I like it.
But that had like a few hundred likes because I'm normally shadow banned to hell.
I'm shadow banned all the time too, and I'm not even doing anything that bad. But no, divorces cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, at least in the US. Maybe not in the UK.
It's really cheap here. I feel like if you both agree.
If you both agree, yes. But that is rare. It's the legal fees of paying lawyers tens of thousands of dollars. I know. But they have people like us.
Pay me. Like, I'll take 10. Like 20K.
Yeah, just pay me. I promise to fix your problem. I mean, we can't promise, but I don't know.
The problem's outside of your marriage.
I fix them inside of your marriage. Oh, look at us, a dynamic duo. Okay, I want to do this again on the cruise together. I want us to find 40 minutes to just record a conversation, maybe in bikinis. I will see you.
Make you do some social media content. We might have to do some live caging.
That'll be very interesting. Okay. Do you think you'll be able to find people to participate? I do.
Like, just even be like, could you just put your dick in it? Just for 10 minutes.
Just for 10 minutes. All right. Well,
I need to get a picture.
we'll see about that. I will let you know. We'll play it by ear on the cruise.
There's non-kinky crafting. So like non-swinger craft. And I'm like, oh, I wonder who's going to that.
It's not that I'm not going to any of the swingers events. My boyfriend and I set up a profile and people have messaged us, and all over the profile we're like, we're monogamous. We love meeting and talking to people, but we're monogamous. And then like we'll get messages and we'll respond back, never hear from the people again. But our profile doesn't put forward that we're anything but. I am very interested in the non-swinger event as a whole, but also interested in the swinger event.
I'm like, I wonder what the craft is. Like, why are we all there when everyone else is at the playroom? Like, that's what I'm interested in. Like,
well, I tend to be in the playroom a lot. I'm a voyeur. I enjoy watching it.
I'm a little cock.
Yes, you are. I know you are.
Yeah.
All right. So we will see each other on the cruise. Until then, I've learned this from having Larah on enough times. larahsky.co.uk. Everything's at that website. By the time this episode goes out next week, I'll be 2 days away from seeing you. How exciting. I will see you at the party where I'm hosting the meet and greet. All right. I will talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with anyone who might find it interesting. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out. Email info@thekingconsultant.com. Until next time, keep on kinking on.